Last shipment. That sounds like an excuse. Either you fix it or I fix you. Pick one. Yeah, no excuses. Fix it. Oh, and who might you be? I'm irritable. I'm having a difficult day in business. Have you got a message for me? No. What? You want a Romeo's girls? Then who the hell are you? You come into my den, you randomly walk up to me? Are you serious? You really are... You have no idea, do you? Okay. Well, I shall give you a very generous piece of advice. Go back to where all the little posh boys run about and go and find one of them to talk to. If you're looking for some guy to compliment your dress, you're in the wrong kind of bar. What do you mean you want to talk to me anyway? I'm trying to run a reputable business here, okay? This is my bar. I'm trying to enjoy a quiet drink, talk to the occasional colleague who feels like dropping in, and not have to worry about a suspicious stranger. Oh, you're not a cop? Well, because a cop could never just say, well, I'm not a cop. And if you were a cop, I would, of course, have nothing to hide, but that's not the point. You know, I'm really not sure if you're just not altogether too bright. If you really, really don't understand what's happening right now, or if you're just very, very brave. I'm not sure the answer to that question actually changes what happens to you if you don't get a clue and get out of my face. What do you mean, no? No one... Smiling at me like that is going to get you in a lot of hot water. I can only assume you don't have a clue what you're asking for here, but fine. Your boldness, if nothing else, is admittedly intriguing. Jim, get her a drink. What do you want? Get her that. Yeah. Actually, get me another as well, would you? What's wrong? Well, some of my business card partners have run into supply chain issues. We have a heavy demand for, drink, but are struggling to meet that demand. Some of our suppliers think they can put a fast one and charge us extra. Certain loyalties are under question, and, well, we have a spontaneous staff shortage. No, you cannot apply for a job. My business is very selective in our hiring process. You come recommended to us or you don't come to us at all. I'm not looking for that kind of recommendation. We don't look at CVs here. When I say we don't look at CVs, I mean, of course, that our hiring process is more based on the character of the individual than their credentials. Now, of course, if you wanted to go through official channels, you could submit a CV, go to an interview, but it would be no guarantee of employment. I may sound like an old head, but I like to look someone in the eye. And normally, people have to wait quite a long time to talk to me. It is an interesting breach of protocol for someone to just walk straight up to me. Well, don't worry, it's not you who I'm going to be asking about how something like this is allowed to happen. I suppose we are somewhat stretched thin on this day, and I do put myself in a position to be talked to. I suppose I should take it as a compliment that a eligible young thing like yourself comes up to me. I know perfectly well. I'm in the business of knowing what people want. I know exactly why you came up to talk to me. What you're hoping to find. I don't know if you actually found it. I'm still unsure of how much you do and don't understand. Well, that's not definitive, is it? Something tells me you're not trying to be. Are you enjoying this game? Typical. You know, if you really wanted me to believe you aren't a cop, you would stop asking so many of these questions. Oh, why do you want to talk so much about my business? If you'd walked up to a pilot, would you be asking them about the course of their flights, how the equipment in the cockpit works, how many staff they interact with? I think what would be best for you is to stop asking questions about that. There's a few questions you could ask. Maybe you could ask me about something other than what I do for a living, or maybe you could ask yourself why you're here talking to me at all. Okay, I'll tell you what. Let me have a guess. I've been known to be perceptive on occasion. So here's what I'm going for. The thing that you like about me is that I don't care about you. In the most literal sense, that you know if you got up and walked away, I wouldn't chase you. You know if you try to play too many games with me, I wouldn't chase you. You know that you're the one who's going to have to work to get me, not the other way around, and something about that actually entices you. Maybe you deal with too many little boys who beg for your attention. But you know that isn't me. My dear, you are an odd one. Fret not, that is a good thing. The fact that I thought you were one of Romeo's girls at first, believe you me, you should take as a compliment. Romeo is a picky individual. A direct compliment, well, that would be for your little boys and their dating apps and their desperation. You may have noticed I say very little direct to a stranger. I have very little incentive to. Well, you're not a runner. You're not a showgirl. And you're not a lady of the night. But I still don't know what you are. A lost little fly, merrily flapping its way into a spider's web. It's a charming story in a sense. Very difficult to believe, though. Why are you in my bar? You had a busy day at work and just so happened to see this bar and say, I feel like a drink. You feel this is a believable backstory, do you? That's either really, really clever or really, really stupid, and I can't tell which. I suppose there is some legitimate the cop would have a better story. That is true. I would ask you to forgive me of my suspicion, but I don't meet people without ulterior motives, frankly. I don't have women to talk to who just want to talk. Everyone wants something. I suppose in a sense you do too, but your something may be significantly more innocent in one sense of the word. I suspect, not in a certain sense of the word, but you won't linger too long on that. I feel like I'm gonna regret this, but I tell you what, I can't spend a large amount of time with you this evening. I simply can't. I have too many colleagues coming in for important business discussions. Give me your number. Yes, give me your number. And I will tell you when we can go for dinner. Oh? If you want to earn your way into this family, well, you'll have to understand that there are times where I cannot simply drop what I'm doing. What I'm doing is very time sensitive and very important to sort out quickly for the benefit of many others. You happen to have come across me when I'm single, and I suppose in a sense you've got my attention. There's more than most women can say. It should be taken as a compliment no matter how unorthodox this has all been. But I guess that's kind of part of why I like it. In any case, number. I'm not gonna ask again. Okay. Saved as the mysterious woman. Not really, but for the sake of the black and white movie this appears to be, let's say that it is. Now, with all due respect, my dear, I can already see from... Yeah. Here comes another colleague of mine. One of my favourites. So I suggest you skedaddle. And by suggest, I mean go. Ah, William. Wonderful to see you as always, my friend. Have you sorted the supply chain issue?